The Bible tells of astonishing feats of physical strength by a hero of Israel by the name of Samson. Samson is also known for his moral weakness. Today, our predominantly rationalistic society consistently dismisses the existence of such extraordinary physical abilities of strength. Our knowledge can be interpreted as rudimentary, when we can't always believe the full extent of what the Lord can do. It would be foolish to reject accounts of Samson's extreme physical ability based on that of just carnal reasoning is unbelievable. The Bible states that Samson did wonders unequaled by anyone. Does physical strength help in catching 300 foxes and holding all of them together long enough to tie their tails together one to another? Samson would certainly have to run faster than my neighbor to catch any fox. Or what about killing 1,000 men in one battle and with a small weapon like the jawbone of an ass? I recall many years ago, I fought against 3 unruly fellows, all at the same time and fighting for what seemed like hours. I remembered I was ready to give up and tell them I'd had enough when the 3 very tired combatants gave up. Now, Samson, with just the jawbone of an ass, and killing 1,000 fighting men therewith, I would imagine Samson may have been able to spin like a whirlwind to accomplish such a feat. Should not his lifestyle be an apparent warning against the dangers of self-indulgence and the complete lack of discipline? I remember while serving in the army of one fellow bad-mouthing a non-commissioned officer, and that was the last day we saw that soldier. Another soldier would improvise training instructions to cause jest or excite laughter, and in turn was punished for lack of discipline. This carnal-like attitude may be a testament to the lack of biblical knowledge and traditional ritual that to some seems lost in the perplexing past ages. Yes, the acceptance of alternative approaches, perhaps less reliable but more adventurous, has brought on a form deprived of value that also tend to hinder many from properly understanding the Holy Bible. Here is an example. A good friend and one who confessed to be a believer was visiting my home a couple of years ago, and all seemed fine until I asked one question that should not have been as puzzling as it seemed to be for him. I asked the gentleman what he thought of the Islamic religion and informed him of the following biblical verse from John 14, verse 6. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. My friend lost his cool demeanor and became irate with a hatred based, I believe, on his lack of knowing the truth. Where was the love thy neighbor, love thy enemies, or love one another as recorded in the Holy Bible? The lack of biblical knowledge seemed to have rankled him in his adult life. And today, are there not many who don't have the time to read the Bible and become the product of some lower class of the so-called Christians denuded of common sense and must rely on such as a personal independence of thought? Another memory occurred decades ago when an older minister from a denomination my family once attended stopped by one evening when I was home alone. For a time, all went well as we discussed our experiences, and of course, several Bible verses. It became apparent our visit was becoming to an early conclusion when I explained certain Bible verses and backed up what I told him with other verses. For the word of the Lord is right, and all his works are done in truth. He loveth righteousness and judgment. The earth is full of the goodness of the Lord. Psalms 33, verses 4 and 5. This man was not a minister, I knew that well, and was perhaps a part-time or substitute minister visiting in Medicine Hat. He became very upset and tried ignoring what evidence that there might be that was contrary to his belief. He was turning red-faced, breathing hard, and I was afraid he was on the verge of a heart attack, as he stubbornly declared that it was not true what I had brought to his attention. Since then, I have had 4 ministers from other denominations, as well as another minister from that same denomination, leave my home rather disturbed. It is good to be true to the Bible, as it appears that some of the more wondrous and tainted stories concerning the Bible have been circulating for centuries. But the question remains, why are the people so willing to believe them? Do they not know the words of the Bible are as good as the words from God and don't need to be amended or corrected? Ecclesiastes 7:9 says, "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools." So then what? Are we required to have done adequate preparation in order that the exchange of opinion might lead to results? Is judgment or beliefs based on the grounds short of proof or conviction, and also are views held as another probability? Did you know that you can heighten and even broaden your scriptural knowledge simply by reading your own Bible? God should come first in your life and not you. Anyone knowing the Bible should be at ease instructing others in their attempt to understand difficult scriptural problems. A belief that will save you is one that rests in the finished work of Christ. Believers that have trusted God with their will must also trust Him with their mind. This comes from Old Time Gospel Hour Dictionary. And also from the same, God's Word is the primary means by which He is present and working in the world. He is not Himself part of this world, but He acts in it by means of His Word, and He becomes personally known through His Word. Samuel 3. Romans 8, verse 7 says, through to the end of verse 10, "Because the carnal mind is enmity against God, for it is not subject to the laws of God, neither indeed can it be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please God. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the Spirit, if so be that the Spirit of God dwells in you. Now, if any man have not the Spirit of Christ, he is none of his. And if Christ be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the Spirit is life because of righteousness." When asked certain people, whether young or old, "Do you believe in God?" the answer in most cases is usually the same, when they answer with a "yes, I do." But later they give evidence or the impression of being rather worldly, non-spiritual, and perhaps even appear subject to the crude desires and appetites of the flesh. According to one denomination, it's their claim that this carnal in the New Testament is to describe worldly Christians. In Sincerity and Truth, written by Norman Carlson, October 21.